Andy Ogles is a representative from Tennessee who was pictured in his Christmas card along his loving family with a whole bunch of big old automatic weapons and guns. He was asked about that Christmas card as he was asked about other things about the shooting. Here are his responses that are crazy at the beginning when he was talking about saving people from mental illness, and also crazy and fascist at the end when he just went like, I'm out of here and I'm not going to even consider that maybe my normalizing gun culture had something to do with this.
What this does is highlight some of the mental health issues, the mental health crisis we have in this country. That needs to be the real conversation that we're having right now. How did this individual slip through the cracks? What could have been done to get them help?
Any regrets about that Facebook post and the photo from your Christmas card?
Why would I regret a photograph with my family exercising my rights to bear arms?
I love how he just walks off at the end after asking a question. Why would I regret posing with a bunch of pictures and guns and my loving family and a Christmas tree and a teddy bear? Well, why would you regret it? Because you are an empathetic person who thinks maybe, what's my responsibility here? Do I have any potential responsibility here? He's talking about mental illness. I'd like to see his record on supporting mental illness, on supporting mental wellness. That's what I'd like to see. Number one. Number two, I think anyone who poses for a gun in front of a Christmas tree is indicating that he has a mental illness. Number three. Okay. I mean, talk about no, I have no responsibility at all. I'm just your elected official. I will not look into myself. And I will not look at anything that goes against me getting some cashola from that gun lobby. Woo! All right. Here's another thought, though. He said, how could he help the mentally ill? Well, if he's really concerned about the mentally ill in his district and across the country, I might add, he might stop people from becoming mentally traumatized by having to live through a school shooting in his community. He might do so by banning the weapons that are most often used in school shootings and have the capacity to plow down the beloved children, mothers, friends, cousins, and neighbors. Every single person that one of those who was killed, both in this shooting and the other shootings that Republicans will do nothing about, every single one of them has touched hundreds of lives. And every single one of those lives has been traumatized and shaken up. And those are just the people who are close. The rest of us, the people of conscience in this culture, we are secondarily traumatized by knowing that our children could go off to school and not come back. I've been talking to mothers all week who are in a state of fear and trauma. And I've talked about this on this program before. People make bad decisions when they're in a state of fear and state of trauma. He really wants to care about mental health of his community. There's more that can be said about what could have been done for the mental health of his community, which includes the trans community of his state and district. I'm Julianna Forlano. This is the Political Voices Network. Usually we're funny around here, but this kind of situation brings out my warrior one woman. I look forward to reading your comments. Stay brave, everyone.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and health care benefits. Fool me once. Let Majority Rule was responsible for this message. LetMajorityRule.org is a project of the Marvin Lucas Super PAC, which is responsible for and paid for this ad and is not affiliated with or authorized by any political campaign or candidate or candidates committee.